Hi, looks like there's someone else here. Want to say hi?
Hello, hello.
Hi, who's that?
This is Kendra.
Kendra, nice to meet you. Where do you live, Kendra?
Dallas, Texas area.
Dallas, Texas. Great. Are you able to see the video, Kendra?
Not yet. It's still connecting.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Hi, Caitlin. I can see that you just joined us. So you guys are the early birds. Nice to meet you. I can see you, Caitlin. Hi. So she's up in Idaho. She's a friend of mine. Kenna, great to meet you. And how did you find out about this, Kenna? Kendra, sorry. Oh, we got Kendra?
I think through Plaid.
Oh, great. Sarah Webb, yeah, she's wonderful. Hi there, Kendra. Nice to meet you. You guys are the early birds, so we'll start right at 2 o'clock. But I wanted to get in here early and make sure I was ready for you. So I'm in Utah right now, and we have had this really warm winter. It's been kind of weird, but I'll just show you outside my door here. We got just plummeted with snow last night, so I'm kind of excited about it, actually. Have a little winter wonderland because we've had a really warm winter, so.
Awesome.
So you don't get a lot of that in where you live, do you, Kenna?
Not so much. If we were going to get some, it'd be this month, but right now it's like 67 outside.
So Kendra, are you able to see me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sweet, great. So I'm new to doing a Zoom live thing like this before. I've done Zoom for meetings, but this is my first time using Zoom for something like this. So I'm glad I got it pulled up, right? Okay, we've got about 1 minute and then we're gonna get started. So Kendra, are you at work right now?
I sure am.
You are? Cool. Well, thanks for taking some time with us. And Caitlin, looks like you're outside. So can you see each other? Like Kendra, can you see anyone else besides me?
I can. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This is great.
Awesome.
I'm going to turn off my video soon. I just wanted to say hi. I'm joining you from the Boise Zoo.
Sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, it is 2 o'clock and I have a song that I have picked for the occasion. So I wanted to start off, oh, and of course it's an ad for YouTube. Okay, here we go. So you probably heard this before, but I thought it was pretty appropriate for today and for this topic too. Okay, here we go. Okay. Hi, Trisha. Okay, here it comes. They wonder I've got to. Oh, I missed it. Here it comes, the chorus. Ready? Who knows who sings this? It's Styx. And here it comes. Here it comes. And then we'll get cracking. Hi, Autumn. Welcome. I have this. Okay, here we go. Okay, there we go. That's the chorus I was trying to get to. So I had it all pulled up, but anyways, so that was Styx, and the song is Too Much Time on My Hands. And I was thinking how funny that is, especially as moms and as mom business owners. I don't know that that's ever really the case for us. So like that was not written by a mom in business. So Okay, so I'm Krista Lee, and I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you, sincerely, thank you for joining me today. And I'm going to share my screen now, and I want to share with you the agenda. So what you can expect for the next 30 minutes and how we'll be spending our time together. Your time is very valuable, and so I want to really make sure we keep this within 30 minutes for you. So hopefully you're all able to see this. I'm going to play it from the beginning. So here we go. Okay. So our agenda today, I want to do a quick intro for you about the purpose of this 5-day challenge, why we're doing it, and how it can help you. I also then will go into the 5 tips of ways that I multiply my time as an owner of 2 businesses and a mother of 2 young children. And by no means do I have like a magical cure, but I have learned some things that have been really helpful for me. So I'm excited to share them with you. I'll also talk about the checklist that I prepared that I'll be sending your way later today, and also let you know what you can expect for tomorrow. So here we go. Okay, hopefully. Let's see. Remote control. Okay. I'm gonna, hopefully it'll let me present online. Let's see. Well, okay, well, hopefully this will, there we go. Okay, now it's working for us. Okay, great. Again, I told you this is real life, so there's gonna be some little things, little blunders, but we're real here, so. Okay, so 5 tips, and I like to think about this as ways to multiply your business without minimizing your family. And for me, that's really the heart of what we do at the Mama Ladder. We help mothers climb after business dreams that fit their family, because that's our top priority is our family. But at the same time, we really want to climb after those goals. So here we go, 5 tips. And okay. So a quick look at my journey so you know who I am, why I'm talking about this, and why I have anything to share. So I got my undergraduate degree at BYU in public relations. And then my first job out of college, I have a very free spirit. I love traveling. I was a flight attendant. This is my husband and I, and that was my very last flight, actually, or one of my last flights. And then I did a master's degree in professional communication at Weber State. That's my local university. I live in Ogden, Utah. It's a very cute little mountain town. And then the same semester that I graduated, I had my first baby. So my little Lydia, she was able to come with me to graduation, which was really fun. During that time, so while I worked at Weber State, or while I was going to Weber State, I worked for 4 years at a global marketing and sales company. And there I got to do lots of cool things. I did writing projects for big clients, so companies, little companies you've heard of, like HP and Sony, and some work with Google, some work with Yahoo, and I really got to see kind of behind the scenes on how marketing works in that level, which was really cool. And then I was the editor of the company magazine, so they had about 3,500 employees at the time, and I really loved my job. I loved it. But I ended out, when I had my girl, I felt really, really torn because I loved what I was doing, but I wanted more time with her. So I ended up getting laid off, which was probably the best thing that could have happened because I was already pregnant with baby number 2, my boy. And so at that point, I was just gifted all this time to decide what I wanted to do. So I ended up starting my first business, and my first client, I'm writing his biography, so that's been a big project. And then I started the Mama Ladder about a year later. So, and just a little bit about my businesses. Professional communication consulting. I have a team of 8 writers, and we help remarkable organizations tell their story. These are some of the brands that we work with. We do things like mostly long form content, so things like blog posts and case studies and a lot of thought leadership. And a lot of this is very high level writing. And then for the Mama Ladder, these are the things that we offer. So I do one-on-one sessions and help women strategize their strengths. We have our spring break, our first live event coming up next month that we're so excited about. And then in the future, we have our Ladder Leader Collective coming up. And right now you're part of learning about multiplying yourself, and you'll be learning about our Multiply Mama business team. So, okay, so let's get to the topic at hand, babies and businesses. How does this work? And it was something that I personally had thought about for a long time before I had kids. I'd always been intrigued by entrepreneurship. I took an entrepreneurship in college when I was like 21, and I was just amazed at these women who are able to handle motherhood and being a business owner. It just kind of boggled my mind that it was possible to do both. And I'm still learning all the time, but I have learned some things that work for me as far as being able to keep and maintain a part-time work schedule. I just work in the afternoons. That's what I want to do. And then I play in the morning with my kids, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But so you know, like, I'm not working like 60 or 80-hour weeks. Like, I'm working like 20 to 25 hours a week between my two businesses, and my kids are 4 and 2. And so with that, let's talk about the 5 tips that I have for you for multiplying your time. I'm going to go into each of these a little bit more in depth, but I wanted to give you the overview. So first, consider the entire time cost. And I'll get into this more specifically, but that's a huge one. Second, dedicate time chunks. Third, invest time in self-care and play. 4, schedule what matters. And 5, leave room for white space. So let's do this. Okay, so here are my little cuties, my Lydia and my Bryson. This was, probably a year and a half ago. And this was their very first, this was their very first babysitter who was coming consistently, who I hired. So the reason that I have this picture is because you want to consider the entire time cost of what you're doing. And by that, I mean that everything that we do has a cost. And it could be a cost of energy. It could be a cost of spending time in the car. So example, again, to go back to this picture, for the first year of my girl's life, when I was working full-time still for someone else, I had her in this part-time daycare. So I would pack her up and I would take her over there, and it always kind of broke my heart. And there's nothing wrong with daycare. I want you to know, like, I completely support however you take care of your kids. But for me, I realized after I was let go from my job and I was like starting my own company, I realized that it took quite a bit of time for me to get her ready and pack up all the things she needed and to drive her to her daycare. And it's kind of ironic I say that, because her daycare is probably a 3-minute drive from her house. So, I mean, it's very local, so it's not like it's that far away. But when I looked at the amount of time that it would take, just the packing alone was probably 30 minutes. And then going to pick her up was another, 5-10 minutes of my day, and if not more. So I started like thinking about, if I were to add up all that time during the week, I mean, you're starting to look at 2 or 3 hours a week of just packing her up, dropping her off, picking her up. And so I decided, and the reason I have this picture is that instead of spending my very precious time that I want to be with my kids or be working on my business, because those are my 2 priorities right now, instead of spending it getting them ready, that I would have someone come to us. And so that's the way that I do my childcare, and I've done it for the past at least 18 months, if not a little longer. And Lauren was just so wonderful. So anyways, I have someone come to our house, and right now, actually, my kids are with a wonderful babysitter out playing. They're playing with Play-Doh in our living room. And that, I know it's a small thing, but it ended up saving me over the course of that 18 months. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of hours of time. And that's just one example. So I just want you to be thinking about little things that you do in your life, that you do with your family or that you do yourself. Be thinking about the entire time cost. So for example, another idea, If you are a gym member, do you go to a gym that's really far away, or is there a closer option? I find for me that localizing as much as possible, and spending as least amount of time trying to get to the places that I need to go ends up saving me a lot of time. And part of this, I feel like I've been kind of indoctrinated by my husband. He works in real estate and construction management. So he's an estimator, and he's always thinking about how long it takes to build a building and all the costs involved for paying the subcontractors and working with the owner. There's all these costs involved. And so when something takes longer, like 2 or 3 months longer on a building, I mean, it's tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars of extra cost. And so I like to think that way about kind of just the basic things that I do in my life, and how I can make the cost of time be more effective. So that's number one. I'll go a little quicker through these other ones, but I feel like that one's really important to get. Okay, 2 is dedicate time chunks. So this is me and Lynette, and this was us in January. And we sat down and we looked at the whole year, and we were planning out what we wanted to do. And for me, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but I've found that if I don't dedicate time to something, that it just doesn't really work. And for me, it's really important to be present and to be really there when I'm with my kids. And I find the only way that I personally can do that is by having separate time that's dedicated to work. It's almost like counterintuitive, but our kids need us to protect our work time so that when we're with them, we're essentially protecting our time with them. And it's really about honoring what's important to you. And for me, it's really important that I'm able to be fully there when I'm with them. Again, I'm not perfect. I definitely have times when I check emails on my phone, or but I'm aware of it at least, and I know when I'm doing it. I know I need to stop, and so I don't want you to think I have this completely figured out, but the way that I have my day set up is that the first half of my day is for me and my kids, and they're still little right now. They're not in school, so I'm able to do that. And we play and I exercise, and that's when I have my focused time with them. And they kind of, both of us, we kind of fill our reservoir for the day so that we enjoy each other. We like really play, and then the afternoons, they know that's mom's work time, and I have my babysitter come, and they know that that's time that they get to do their own thing. So having that dedicated time chunk can make a really big difference. Okay, and so this is very much aligned with that second one, is to make time for self-care and play. So this is me and my kids, and honestly, I feel like I'm living kind of my dream life, because I really do. I get to play with them every day. It's really important to me. So this was us going on a hike. We go on lots of hikes. We go to the local children's museum. We go to parks. They know all the fun things to do around here, because that's what we do in the morning. And so that's so good for me as a business owner, because then by the time that I get to my work in the afternoon at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, I feel like I've taken care of myself and taken care of my most important relationships. And so that's mostly talking about play, but as far as self-care goes, like the investment that you make in your self-care will pay dividends for you throughout the rest of the day. And you don't have to do it like I do. You don't have to do it in the morning. Maybe for you, it's better at night. But when I say self-care, I'm referring to like eating as healthy as you can, and exercising, and for me, those things, they're literally part of my business strategy, because when I don't do them, I don't think clearly. I'm not able to use my time well. So that's number 3. Okay, so 4, schedule what matters. This is me. I just did this on Saturday, actually. This picture is older, but I did this same hike on Saturday. I go on Saturday hikes, and and my husband just knows, like Saturday, that's when I go get my kind of mental refresh, and I go either by myself or with a girlfriend or two, and I go spend time in nature. And for me, and this is like a personal fun thing, but also scheduling what matters in your business too. Like if it's not written down, it's probably not going to happen. So I hope I didn't irritate you when I sent like five calendar invites this morning, but I just know that if it's not scheduled, then it often is missed. So I'm glad that those of you who are here were able to come, and hopefully I didn't totally irritate you having that bombard your inbox. But yeah, when you block it out, it's much more likely to happen. Okay, so number 5, leave some room for white space. And this is something that has taken me a long time to learn. So when I say white space, I mean having some time that you don't have anything to do. So it's kind of counterintuitive to the last one where you're scheduling time. But if you are so jam-packed and your schedule is so full that you don't have any room just to sit down or just to be and just to enjoy just being you, then that's not really a happy way to live. And it really affects your business too if you're so overbooked that you don't have time for that like break. So I share this picture, which is kind of an awful picture, but this is my kids getting into my office, my little office corner here in my house, and them like destroying things. And part of the reason I think it's so important to leave room for white space is that as a mother, there's so much that's out of our control with our kids. And you know this, like you'll have someone who's sick all of a sudden, or someone throwing up, or have a neighbor that needs your help, or things happen. And so giving yourself some room. I did not do this. There was a 2-year period of time where I basically like overbooked myself, and it was when I was in grad school and I was working full time, and I was so booked to the max that I forgot how to enjoy life. It was really miserable. And I, as a mother, my kids really kind of shook me out of that. And it was like, they are my priority, and I just don't want to live like that. And I can't. So I try to leave some room just to be, just to breathe. And part of that for me, I do a yoga session once a week, and that helps me actually just have some breathing time, and it helps me recharge. And my mountain time does that too. So, okay, so there's my 5 tips. I'll go back to the top for you, but again, consider the entire time cost, dedicate time chunks, invest time in taking care of yourself and doing things that you enjoy just because you enjoy them, and schedule what matters, but at the same time, leave some room for white space. And if you know your own limits, but if you know that you're starting to have too much, say no. That's something I'd probably add on here, but saying no is essential as a mom in business. And it's something I focused on really hard last year, and I still am working on it. There'll be things that come up that people ask me to do things, and if it doesn't align with your happiness or your health or with your family or your business goals, then just don't do it. So yeah, that's part of leaving room for white space, is saying no. Okay, oh yes, so coming to your inbox later today, I've been working on this Mamapreneur checklist, which there's some different ideas in here than what I've just shared with you. There's quite a few different tips on ways to multiply your business without minimizing your family. So you'll be seeing this come through later on today. Okay, so, and I apologize, I was going to do this at the beginning, but we'll just do it now. So if you want to multiply efforts in your business, you're definitely in the right place. And the rest of this week, we have so many great things planned for you to help you multiply yourself And I want you to have some great aha moments this week. That is what I'm hoping for you, so that you can find ways to multiply yourself so that you can multiply your business. So this is your kickoff, and then tomorrow you are going to learn from Teal Livingston, who is, her and Katie they will run Prevalent PR and Marketing, and we'll meet her tomorrow, but they're the PR team behind Gladys Knight, and so they've got some really cool stories to share. It'll be John Till who's with us, so it'll just be her, but they'll also share specific strategies and ways that you can multiply your own visibility for your business. And again, this is coming from the pros, so I'm really excited to share them with you tomorrow. We are, let's see, it's 2:23 where I live, so we've got about 7 minutes, and I want to give you the gift of time. I'll open up if there are a couple questions, but then why don't we end early? I'm always a fan of that. So let's see. I'd like to practice this actually. So go ahead if anyone has a question. I'd love to hear what are any questions that you have either about this challenge for this week or about multiplying your time. Go for it.
There are questions there.
Hi, Brianna.
Hello. I missed like the first 8 or 10 minutes, I think, of it. So maybe just what you quickly highlighted then.
Okay, well, I'll send this out.
Hello?
I don't want to repeat it for everyone who is here, but mostly I did an intro, but did you hear these five tips, Brianna?
No, but I can watch it after.
Okay, cool. Did you, yeah, I guess.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Crystal-Lee, it's Sonia. And Jessica had a question before about, do you recommend any sort of like scheduling apps or planning apps?
Ooh, great question. And Sonia, nice to meet you, and I appreciate it. So let's see, scheduling apps. So I use
like planning or, yeah.
Yeah, and I should have brought it in here. I don't have it with me right now, but just out in the hallway I have. So for me, I use Natalie McNeil's Conquer Your Year calendar. Like it's a planner, and it's a handwritten planner. I mean, of course, I use like Google Calendar, so I have some online ways that I track my schedule. But the biggest thing that has benefited me is that it basically creates 4 sprints in the year. So like each quarter, you focus on one big goal. And for me, that's really helped me because I tend to be the kind of person that wants to just do everything. But the reality is that when you try to do that, you end out either being miserable or not, just not being able to give them your best. And so, yeah, Conquer Your Year, the planner has been really helpful for me to have one focus, and then it breaks down kind of reverse engineering tips or steps that you need to accomplish that one big goal for the quarter. I'm trying to think of any other scheduling apps, but mostly, I use Later for Instagram. But yeah, hopefully, is that helpful, Sonia?
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. Thank you. But just like with, I've got a whiteboard in front of me, and I've got lots of notes and post-it notes and handwritten notes and, things on file. Like, do you put everything into an Excel spreadsheet, or do you use something like Asana or like?
Ooh, and I'm also you're a Post-it woman of my heart. I love Post-its. I do use Asana, and I'm so glad you reminded me because we're using Asana, I mean, all the time. I use it for my team of writers, but I also use it with the Mama Ladder, and we our Multiply Mama team that you'll be meeting this week, that's how I'm giving them assignments, is with Asana. It's a brilliant. Do you use Asana, Sonia?
Well, a few people have told me about a few other ones, so I'm just trying to work out which one to use and which is right for me. Yeah. So how long have you been using Asana for?
Let's see, it's been at least a year now, and
Okay.
I've definitely had to kind of play with it and learn. But so there's also Trello out there. I've used Trello in the past. Trello's great. Let's see.
But you prefer Asana over Trello?
I've got some other call coming in. Sorry about that. But yeah, Asana's great to check out.
Okay, that's good to know. Thanks.
All right, let's see. We're at 2:27. So is there one last question? Then I want to let you go and give you back hopefully a minute or two. Let's multiply time, because it really boils down to those little tiny chunks of time, like those micro chunks. And when you consider little shifts that you can make, you can get more minutes. So is there one more question out there?
Me? Hey, Crystal, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Who's this?
Hey, it's Lynette. So actually, Joy just asked, how is Asana different from Trello?
Ooh, so I guess I'm missing this. Is Joy,
There's a chat that should show up at the bottom.
Okay, I'm missing the chat, so sorry about that, Joy. So let's see, Trello, they're both really useful, I think. Asana and they both essentially have different projects. They chunk, it's project management, so they chunk different lists of tasks into projects. And you can have both of them for free, and the versatility and the usability for the free versions are great, and then you can always upgrade if you want to. Let's see, I'm trying to think of the biggest difference between them. For me, I feel like Asana is a little simpler, that for me, it's just so intuitive. Where Trello, it took me a little getting used to. They're both good though. They really are. Whatever your preference is, there's no wrong answer. Whatever works for you. So thank you all so much for joining.
Awesome. Thank you, Crystal.
It's been so great, and I want us to wrap up and give you back 1 minute every day. So thank you so much, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow. So thanks, and I'll be sending you that checklist later on. So thanks so much.